And from any angle, the K7 is one gorgeous looking motorcycle.
So at first glance, you look at the GSXR 1000 K7 and you can see it's a major styling change for Suzuki for this year, 07. The twin exhaust pipes, the most obvious change from last year. Body styling slightly different as well. The bike looks a little bit more compact. But it's much more than a styling exercise for Suzuki, what they've done with this year's motorcycle. Aside from those twin exhaust pipes, they've made the bike 10 millimeters longer. It's got a longer swing arm than it had last year. Makes the bike a bit more stable on the straights and a bit more planted in the corners. The engine itself, they've got 4 to 5 horsepower more out of the motor by taking away some of the reduction and the losses that the engine pumps inside the motor. They've realized, the Japanese, that nowadays when the engine circulates, there's a lot of friction losses that go on inside the engine and the oil that builds up pressure inside the engine. That's what they've really been working on, to make the engine freer and free revving. It revs 1,000 revs more than last year. 1,000 revs with pistons huge like that going up and down. I don't know how they've done it, but somehow the bike feels smoother than last year as well. And I think it's a lot to do with the brains of the motorcycle. These are the brains right here. This little computer is probably way stronger than the computer that put a man on the moon. And this little computer here tells the engine what to do. It tells the fuel injection what to do. It even tells the steering damper what to do at high speed. The Suzuki engineers have paid a lot of attention to detail on the bike, and one of the details I really do like is the way they've made the foot pegs fully adjustable. You can move them down, up, forward and back, 4-way adjustable. For the racetrack, probably raise them up slightly and go back a wee bit. As they are now for road use, I found that perfect. The attention to detail on this bike is amazing, and they've gone to great lengths to save weight. It's all about saving weight. This Suzuki weighs 172 kilograms. It's unbelievable how light they can make a road bike with all the lights and everything. 172 kilograms. And at the presentation when we got here, the Japanese were explaining to us how they've saved weight, and it really is 200 grams here and 200 grams there. The swing arm now is cast rather than welded, so that saved 200 grams and all those sort of things. So little weight savings everywhere. And I'm just looking, for instance, at the starter motor. It's the tiniest electric starter motor you've ever seen on a motorcycle. All those little things add up to bring that weight down to 172 kilograms. Keeping things cool, this is the new radiator for 07. You can see how huge it is and the shape of it. So what it does, pulls that fresh air in and cooling the engine way down. Hottest we've seen today on the thermometer was 85 degrees, which is really cool for this sort of engine. This is the electronic steering damper right here in front. Normally you don't see it, it's covered with a fairing. Quite clever really, because what it does, at low speeds, it's got hardly any tension whatsoever. But as you go faster, the computer sends a message to this damper here and it slows things down, so it avoids tank slapping at higher speeds, which I think is a really cool idea. These are the new front forks for 07. Boy, how trick are they? They've got high and low speed damping for compression. Very important on a bike like this. What it means is when you go around the corners, little ripple bumps, the high speed takes care of that. And then when you get the big bumps, the low speed takes care of that. So you're able to adjust those front forks infinitely for any kind of condition. Of course, the normal sort of rebound damping as well, and spring preload. We've been playing a little bit with the suspension here at Phillip Island. I must tell you, huge improvement over the 2 days by just fiddling with the front end of this bike. This is the swing arm pivot bolt. And what I find interesting, it's got place for adjustment so that you'll be able to move the swing arm itself where it anchors up or down. And that changes the angle of the chain to the sprocket and really alters how the bike rides over the bumps. So for those who are really serious about racing, they'd be able to change that swing arm pivot. So Suzuki have paid attention to detail and have declared war on the rest of the superbikes. This is going to be the bike to beat, I think, in 07.
And this is Kevin Schwans. Hi, Kev. We were sort of teammates way back in the 80s when he first came to Grand Prix, and I think that's where Valentino Rossi learned to climb on a motorcycle that way. After all, Schwans was his hero. So what do you reckon, Kev, about this bike?
This new GSXR 1000 K7 is a really amazing bike, and to be able to come ride it at Phillip Island, a track where you can really enjoy 1,000 and what it's capable of doing, is pretty amazing.
The improvements to the bike over last year's bike substantial, really. I would thought it was just the exhaust pipes, but it's a lot more than that, isn't it?
It really is. You know, they're a little electronic switch that they have that allows you different power settings. That's one of them. To me, the bike seems a whole lot more stable, a lot less likely to get the front end unsettled and a little tank slapper in the front end. But we've got an electronically controlled steering damper on the front too. And the grip from the rear seems to be an improvement over the K5, K6 model. The tire will start to spin and you're thinking, oh, this is going to get messy. And it really feels like it gets the tires stuck back underneath the thing and really gives the tires a chance to continue to work.
Hooks up really well. And what is Kevin Schwantz up to nowadays?
Oh, 12 times a year at Road Atlanta doing the Kevin Schwantz Suzuki School. A school just based...
So you got turn 6 just about sorted out now, have you?
Yeah, actually they just repaved it. I probably won't know my way around it at all now. Besides that, working with American Suzuki and their superbike team in the United States and a lot of the support teams. Just go to the races being a spokesperson for Suzuki.
And we're joined by Adam Butchart from Suzuki South Africa. Adam, when can we expect this model to arrive in South Africa?
We can look sort of around early to mid-March. We should have some nice toys for you to play with around then.
Very much so. And the colour range, because we've only ridden the blue and white one, but there's the full range of colours, so I presume you'll be bringing them in as well?
As the factory makes them available to us, we will be bringing them through to you, yes.
Well, Adam, thanks so much for taking us all the way to Australia. We've got to head back home now, a long flight home, but thanks from Two Wheels, all the other journalists involved as well. And once again, I say, I think successful for Suzuki.
Absolutely, you're most welcome. We look forward to doing it again. Thank you.